Yeah, hold on, guys. So from our last session, we'll be moving on to these aspects that we are moving towards to now. I'm going to show you something that we've done so far, and from there we'll be continuing up with it. So right now, all what I have done right now, I've been able to get data sets, and then we'll be able to collect our data. So our next milestone would be um, preparing our data, augmenting our data, and some other stuff. And since we are doing AI assisted, okay, I don't use my screen, bro. Let me close it. AI assisted development. So one thing I want you to know is I switched from getting our data sets from Hugging Face to using switch from there. Second thing I want you to know is our UV is also working perfectly now. I say our UV is working perfectly. UV is working perfectly and doing it's configured properly now, very much properly, and can be used to run any of our codes. So let me display this. So now our UV is configured properly. We are switching from using Hugging Face to using this is our Hugging Face. This is our code to get from Hugging Face. I was facing quite a lot of error while trying it, so I switched to Kaggle. So for there, you have to do what you have to create a Kaggle account. Just create a Kaggle account, and everyone of us will have a Kaggle account. From there, you should come into UV add Kaggle. There's UV to add what? UV to add Kaggle. So it will add it. So we're not in a, we should run from our backend. We should come in to our backend because our UV is on our backend. UV CD backend. UV add Kaggle now. You can see you're going to add Kaggle to it. Once you have added it, you can see Kaggle opt login. So this one would it will try to authenticate you. It will try to authenticate you. So I'm already signed in. So if you're not signed in before, it's trying to come up the browser and then put you in. Do you understand? So once you have that, once I got that, I just a generated code to like get my data set, which it did that perfectly. And here is my data set. Here's my data set. We have Pepe, we have Pepe. I have a lot of images under them, under each and every one of them. Yes, you have a lot of images under each and every one of them. So that's our data set already ready. You can see we have the plant with a lot of stuff, a lot of data already here. We have a lot of data already here. So now we just have our data, we've not processed it, we've not done anything. We have our scripts too. So mainly we are working from our root folder. We are working mostly with our backend right now. We don't have anything to do with our front end, our models, our notebook. We are still working much more with our backend. So after that, I tried to do what to push to GitHub. So if you see, let's see our GitHub. Now I've pushed to GitHub. While pushing to GitHub, I try to make sure I don't do a lot of issues. Why? So you can see our data set is very, very heavy. Our data set is much. Let us go to this aspect. Let's come to backend here. Try to see the properties of this folder. You can see very, 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 very heavy. It is very heavy. Close to like 3 GB. And we don't want to push something like that. You can see we don't want to push something like that. So I ignored it. I ignored it using my git ignore. I ignored it and then pushed to what? To GitHub. So now if you are seeing backend now, you will not see data sets on the backend because I made sure I didn't push it. You understand? So that's what we're about that. So now we are trying to move on to the next steps of the project. We are trying to move on to the next step of the project. So I said the next milestone will be our data creation, having a clean folder structure, data set integrity, train validation, training, validation, and test splits, configuration environments, data augmentation, Python data loaders ready for training. So we want to make our data very, very much ready now. So now we aim to have something like this in our what do you call it? In our um project structure, which we don't have presently. As our project structure we only have scripts, we don't have API, we don't have other stuff. We don't have app, we don't have models, we don't have API. So now it's even going to change. So models that we're having here will probably come into backend later. Let me move this backend. Now we're having models. So let me just create as much as I can create app. Okay, app data and script are the main app data script tests are the main things we have on the backend. We have app, we should have app on the backend, we should have app data script and tests. On the backend, we should have tests. So this is just what we need to have. And now it is under our app, we're going to have what? API and core. Under our data, we're going to have data scripts. Okay. Under our data, we're going to have the data. Okay, app, we have API, we have this and this and this. Okay. So I think let me create it very quick. And to create it very quick, I can easily say let me create it using code generating it, but then let me just do that one by one. Let me do it one by one. So I'll do this. Close this guy so that I can see this guy very, very much. I have my app. Under app, I have API. Under app, I have core. Under core, I have data. Under app, I have data. Under app, I have models. Yeah, so these are the things I have under apps. Under core, I have config.py, I have file.py. Config.py, path.py. Under data, we have dataset.py. Datasets.py. We have data loader. We have transform.py. Transform.py. Moving forward, we will be working with another type of stuff. We have splitter.py. So we have that models service. Okay, we have models under this. Okay, we have models. So I'll delete this model. We have services too. Let us under app we have service. Services. So we have main.py. These are main.py. Under app, we have our main.py. Not even in backend. Under app, we have our main.py. So very good. Now we are moving to, so our app is now done. Our app is done. App API core models. I mean, yeah, we have data. So this would create them automatically by on its own. So I think it should be able to create them automatically on its own by trying to do that. So let's see scripts. Let me come to scripts. I have these guys already. Download datasets. I think this is very redundant, so I will remove it. If redundant could be switch or not using it again. So I will remove it. So prepare download datasets, prepare datasets, and train datasets. We have this guy. Prepare prepare underscore datasets .py and also train.py. So we're doing like modular programming here. Right? We're not using just one notebook and doing everything inside one notebook. We're trying to create different and different stuffs. Yeah, from there we'll be able to like do what we'll be able to like ensure that our system is very modular. So it enhances speed and professionalism while working. That's it. Okay. Script test env. I have my env already. Env is just like an environment variable where you store like credentials. We have project HTML, we have vlog. Very much good. We are good to go. Like we are very good to go. Let me close all this. Close all. Yeah. So now let's move on to first in our configurations. So our configuration we see our app core, we are seeing configure. So configuration is just main configuration that we want our project to work with different things instead of add coding it inside our code. We just put them inside configurations and then we can call it from our configurations. So configuration is we are loading from path, we are getting our path lead. Now we are loading from environment. So we are from our what do you call it? Environment variable. So this will help us to load our env that we have here. Okay, I think I can now make this next now. Yeah. So our env that we have here, and then let me increase this one more. I don't really like. So this is our root folder. So our root folder now, our project's root folder is not this app. It is we are in core already. From core, we want to move out to app, we want to move out to backend. So backend is where we'll be running directly, and other things can reference it from backend. So another thing is our raw data directory. So where we have our data directory, it's under our root folder, which is backend. So under backend, we have what? We have data. Do you understand? Data. So in data, we have what? The raw data. We have our process data later. We have our splits, and then we have our split data. We have our models directory. We have our models directory too. So those things are there. So now image size. The size of our image, the batch, the number of batches it take at once, 32 batch, number of workers, 4 different workers, random seed, take 42 different random seed, training ratio 70%, that means 70 to train, 30, 15, yeah, 70 to 10, 15 to validate, 15 to also test. So that's what this is about. So just save it. It's showing an error from this guy. The warning will be treated later. I hope you all get me. So let's try to like make sure our project is well. Now we have a centralized path. So importing it automatically ensures the required directory exists. So now some directory they will not exist and we have to work on it. We have to work on them. So those directories now, instead of us to like getting error and then from getting error we'll now say okay, we'll now try to create the directory and stuff. No. Our core path, we can easily just put it here and it handles making all those directory available for us. It handles it and make it available So let's move on. So now our first thing, create app data data.py. So under our app, we have data, we have data.py. So responsibility, find all classes of folder, find all class folders, shuffle images, split into 70% string, um, 70% string, copy files into data split. And yeah, so now let's copy this. Now this is not, it is not generated 100%. It has, we're just having like scaffolding of it. We've not created. So we have to write all this. We have to write all this. You can see it's showing red already. So I'll just say, I would comment them. You have to write all what? You have to write all these functions later. You write all these functions later. So now you have to note it down. We are coming back to work on our splitter.py. So I will note it down manually on my own end. I will note it down on my own end. So splitter.py code. So now I've noticed that's down. So we move on. We move on to, we'll implement this first because every data step depends on it. So our transform, image transform.py. So we have this our transform.py, which actually we have the code here. We have the code here. So let's click on this. Let's get our transform.py. Let's see what this one tries to do. It's using PyTorch to transform. So it resizes the image. So the images, it resizes them to this size, 224 by 224. That means making them like everything have the same size that we can use. And it creates a default brightness, contrast, saturation of them. So that's why this is what we have now. Transform this PY. Moving on. Our dataset loader.py. Datasets.py. Let's copy it and let's try to understand what it's doing, because we need to really understand what it's always doing at every point in time. Okay. No. This is the same thing. This is just our transform code, not copied data. Is this even right? So we are trying to form touch dot. So now from the dataset import image folder, apply what? Okay, splitting them, train, transform, validate, like to get our train, to get our what? To get our dataset to train, the number to train, which is 70%, 15 for validation and transformation. But then it still does have some things I want to expose. Get trained. So I'll put all these here. And then I'll comment them out. I'll comment these guys out. We're going to be using these functions later. I will be using these functions later. I hope you get me. So we are scaffolding. We are still scaffolding our page. You can see we've not run any code. So data loader, it should expose one function. This creates data loaders. That's py. So now data loaders py. I'm going to copy this just now. Okay, so returns, this should returns our train loader, val loader, and test loader. Returns it. So okay, we have this. So we have data loader to should have a script in it, which we don't have presently. So let's move on. Now say Now, script dataset.py. Now let's come to our scripts here. This is what's going to like dataset.py. This is what's going to like call everything. This should only orchestrate the preparation process. So it is the one that we're going to use to do what? To create everything that we want. To create everything that we want. So instead of we are not going to be running what do we call it? Running all those our script directly. It is this one that we're going to call okay. Prepare our dataset for us. What's it going to do? Once the prepare dataset for us, it's going to like do what? It's going to run through our data through the scripts that we have in our data and then make sure it works properly. I hope we are all getting it. So it's not rocket science, just simple stuff. So why is this thing not cooking? Why is this thing not cooking? Uh-huh. So now you can see this is bringing us errors. So now from our errors, we try to now get okay, what are we living to? Okay, now let's try to understand something. It's now saying we can test it, add a simple test to verify the split. So under our tests, we would have a new file now. We have a new file that says testsplit.py. Now check every class split. We would use absolute imports everywhere. We're using absolute imports everywhere instead of relative imports. We're using absolute import. So we're naming where we want to import from. So now when we run our scripts now, our script is now going to do what? We're going to run our this script here, prepare data. What it first do is it will try to prepare our data sets. It will not prepare our data set, it will run what splitting. It will try to split. It will try to split, and from split it will get our config. From config it get our what? Our path. It get our path. This separation keeps each file focused on a single responsibility and makes what? And makes the code base much easier to understand and extend. For example, I recommend copying instead of copying each image into 10, I would recommend adding. This avoid duplicates. This avoid copying every single image. This avoid duplicates. I would lean towards keeping immutable and copying into data splits. Okay, we understand this now. So let me try to see what I want to try to track back now. Let me see my prepare data set is saying split from def mean from app.data.splitter. That means app data splitter. I should get what split data set. So now, even inside my split data set, we don't have the function to create split data sets here. So we need to go and get the code to split it. So now, how does the splitting goes? Sincerely, we don't know right now. So we try to use our AI to get that. So now, instead of now doing it individually, I will tell it, okay, for the whole step of preparation, for everything that will be needed, help generate the codes in detail and then so that I can use them perfectly. So that's what I'll do. Let's do that. Thanks. To be able to run our prepare data set perfectly and achieve milestone 2. I want the detailed and complete code for all the necessary files slash scripts. Ordinary files slash scripts and how to run a perfectly and how to run them perfectly. Okay, let me do enter now. Let's do enter. So it's going to get me the codes now. Okay, let's do it one by one. So let me copy this guy here. Let me copy this guy. So I'll put this in my notepad. Where's my notepad? Okay, so let's run these guys one by one. I'll just do it for everything now. So path, okay, so now let me copy while that is running, let me copy this guy. Let me copy this guy here. You can see this is more detailed now. We do have it present, we have it before, but then we have something more detailed now. So call complete. Just So let's do this. Why is this guy not copying? Okay. Environment variable, load environment variable, project. You can actually, I would say this much more, all this commenting. Okay, as a person, I don't really need this commenting. I don't like it's good to understand, but for me, I don't really like seeing them, by the way. It's good for understanding logs. So we want to now get to logs too. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, random training, splitting tests, supported image extension. Okay, good and fine. I'm okay with this. Let me close all this. Close saved. Let me save this guy too. Okay, now let's move on. So it has given us this, telling us the improvements it made on it. Now, path. Let's copy path. It's py. Let's go to our path. I did copy it. This is not our path. This is our config. This is our config. Where's our path now? Project path utilities. So you can see here, these are our project path utilities. It's telling us, okay, our path lead from app.code.config. We are getting all these now from what? Config, from config that we used here, that we have here earlier. If you try to say, if you check your config now, you take our config, you see data directory, you see it here. You see our data directory, you see it here. Data directory, project root, data, raw directory, everything that you are doing here, you're actually seeing it there. It's actually getting it from there, importing from, and it is using it. So required directories, it is using it. Now, it is creating all those required directories. It will create them at any point of time that we need them inside our projects. So ensure directory exists, initialize the projects, and some other stuff. That's what this part is doing for us. So yeah, let's do more. So good for space split out the SPY. So we're getting a code for split out the SPY now. Okay, you can test one by one. Let's see, can we test for let's test for the now let's test let's try to run this. Let's try to run this and let's give it CLS. And let's run this. Let's see what it does. It's telling us no module named what? Name app.py. That's an error. Where am I getting it from? Let me just do this. Name terminal. Okay, yeah. Let me use my command prompt. No source directory. Path.py. Path.py. Yeah, I'll give a link into this. I'll give a link into this. I started by having issues. CD. Okay, CD backend. CD backend. Aha, another kind of error we're saying app.complete.no module. Okay, so let's put it into modular programming. Okay. Having some issues here, we'll work on the issues. It's not saying, so we've been able to resolve getting the, so it's not saying, what's happening is saying, it's not saying app.config. It's not saying this guy. It's telling us no module named app. It's not saying this app as a what? A module on its own. We'll work on that and fix that too. Now let's see what this guy does and done. We'll work on that and fix that. Splitter, let's put our splitter. Have our splitter here. So let's splitter. That's PY. Let's try to understand what's with everything. So that's one thing. Let's try to understand everything it does. It's just blabbering here. Feature realization, importing all this. It's importing from app.co.config. It's importing this guy. Importing this guy. Okay. We'll make this modular now. We'll make this modular very soon. Instead of just showing all this error, we'll make it modular. Maybe when we're done with this. So it's importing from config. It is using from config. It is loading from config too. So it is random to random seed using the path that it's one of the paths that it's the library that it's imported. It's using it to just to generate stuffs randomly. So this is some image. Is an image. Is it an image? So it will check if it supports the extension. This extension we have it in our config already. We have it in our config already. So if you check that, like we have in our config now, you see supported extension. Supported extension. You can see JPEG. So now if this one is saying okay, is the extension that I'm having, so if it's saying dot mpt, and I know that okay, it's not a supported extension, so it's not going to take it. It's not an image. If it is an image, copy the image, clear previous splits. So if you have done it before, you can remove the existing split. So maybe you are doing it at some point, it crashed. So when we are trying to put that down, it doesn't create multiple. It will clear the previous one. Do you understand? So main split function. So this is the main split function now. It's what it splits data set into train, validation, and test. So it does that from the raw data, split it, total images, and then gets the number of stops from it. So you can see it's copy image for train image, so validation image and test image. It's now going to use their what they call it, their percentage that we mentioned earlier, 70, 15, 15. 70, 50, 50, and then if you get the insights of them, and this is the main thing that runs all the application. Do you understand? That runs all the application. Okay, I'm trying to see something where copy and okay, copy image, this is where it is used. Let's now see where is image, where is it used? Where is this image? Where is it? Okay, it's the first check. So we have a for loop here. The for loop will check if there are images. So if it's an image, it will store it inside this list. can see we have this list here. You search that this list and get okay, this is an image, and then move on. How to understand? So yeah, just try to understand the whole back and forth of how programming works. You have this here already. Okay. Now let's get for our what? Transform.py. We are doing this one by one. Making sure we are doing this one by one so that we don't get confused. After transform, we have dataset.py, we have data loader, we have prepare datasets, and then we'll just, I think once we're able to prepare our datasets, we will end this class. But then let me see how many hours have we done. How many hours have we done? I think for 1 minute. So these are our transform. What we do for transform? Let's do for datasets.py. This be, I can see assisted programming is very, very sweet. Dataset.py. So now let me take my transform and put it where it should be perfectly. My transform.py, make transformation, copy it. Transform.py. We have this there already, but then let me show. So make transformation. Let's try to understand it. It's also using config. So instead of configuring manually, we can just use our config and then just call it when necessary. If it's already config now, we have to like be stating what we need here. We have to be stating manually. Even this imagenet.min, we can state it in config rather than add coding them here. But then yeah, let's use it here. Okay, transformation skill. So these are our things I want to start. We want to transform horizontal flip, vertical flip, rotate, get random size. Okay, we are getting transformation colors, stars. There's just some transformation on it, just transform different. So this will make it, make it easy now. We're having one image. It is creating like 3, 4 different versions of it. So it would flip it horizontally, flip it vertically, change, rotate it at some degree. So now one image now we are getting like 3 different images from it, and then we can use it to it will let the model train more and understand more from it. I don't know if you're getting it. So it makes these are things that enhance our model. Enhance our model, and based on this, it just transforms it to make a lot more sense. You understand? So I'm saving this. Let me come back to this. After transform, we are having our data set py. I think how it should be used. It should be used data in dataset.py and then move on. Now dataset.py, dataset.py. Oof. So I'll get removing all this. So now we see our get string, get validation, get test. We'll see it later. We'll see it now. You can see get dataset summary, get class name, get test dataset, get validation dataset, get train dataset, all what we need before. Now we're having it here. We're having it here. And then we can use it. Simple, simple. Now we have some other more to work on. Data loader, prepare data sets, and what test splits. So data loader, I think data loader will be for this. So So I'm getting our data sets. So let's use. So one thing I want us to put at the back of my mind is okay, why getting this? Okay, this will do it perfectly. It will just we'll just get our stuffs and then we'll just be very, very complete with it. Let's be ready for bugs. We'll be ready for blocks. We'll be ready for bugs and then we'll be ready for bugs and then we'll just and then by then we'll just use to test it and then make sure that's why we're having our tests here. Having our test here, so we can just use it. So now I think from our data loader is the next thing that we've done data set. Let's look at our data loader and some other stuff to copying. So okay, so this is our data loader. I'm tired. This is our data loader. We're saying data loader, just copy. So now we're saying create touch, blah 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 blah. For future notation annotation, we're using touch, we're using damage PyTorch, we're using data loader from PyTorch. We're getting some things from config. We're also getting some things from importing from datasets. And now we create individual data loaders, get trained data loader, is getting trained, gets validation, data loader, get test. If you get test too, now let's see what each of them is doing. Now it's getting the get trained data sets. It's now getting data sets, the batch size, the shuffle train, number of workers. I think we say we are having 4 workers. And now use CUDA if it is available. And CUDA underscore is available. Now this thing might cause a problem because basically my system, I'm running on my CPU system, not my GPU system. I'm out of my space. So this would be an issue if this is trying to run and then it's not seeing GPU. So perhaps we'll come and change back to CPU later. But let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. We hope it runs successfully. If it runs, that makes sense. If not, we'll be debugging. So let's get ready to debug. I think that's one of the main issues we're going to be having because we're actually using a lot of AI generated code right now. So we're saying why this is designed instead of repeating writing train the loader, we just keep one and then we can test it. We can test it. This testing, all of them they will never work right. They will not work right now. So and the small improvement, instead of remembering several commands, you would be able to prepare the project with a single command. So now we're having this one. So this one now, instead of manually running different modules, so now I can say I want to run splitter, I want to run dataset, I want to run loader. Instead of that, we have this guy, this script here, and it's going to help us to run what? To orchestrate, we call it orchestrators. It orchestrates everything. You should orchestrate anything. Pipeline, initialize project folder, verify, split, create metadata, validate datasets. It does everything for us using all what we have here before instead of running them manually. Now let's come to our prepare datasets. Now we have this, it runs them for us on its own and then get a lot of stuff to do. You can see right here it's going to try to run. It's trying to use let us start from down. Main, where is this main? Where is this main? So main is what is main doing? Main will print the number of what we call it that have. Print the number of data that we have. Print just some normal. Step 1, initialize directory, initialize project. You should have this initialize project up here. You should have initialize project up here, up somewhere. You can see initialize project from app.core.path initialize. So it is running app.core.path. After done with that, it will do what? It would verify raw datasets. Now it is going to verify here. It's saying verify. If not, raw data directly exist. If it does not exist, raise. If it exists, move into the folder, check the folders. If len dataset equals to 0, raise. So we are raising different issues. If not, okay, raw dataset found. So after verifying dataset, it does what again? It splits. This way it runs for splits. You can see now from app.splitter import split dataset and split it. Now verify split, print summary, verify data loader, and some other thing. You can see that's what this thing is doing for us. Instead of me having to run one by one. So if I run this now, it will produce something similar to this and stuff. Now testing. We have this test for, I might not even be, so perhaps someone else is working on this project, they want to see how it works and some other things. Basic testing of, okay, how does this even work? Is the code working perfectly? Is it not working perfectly? This would help us to like test, okay. Now we have all this working perfectly. So now that we have all our stuffs ready here, we have all our stuffs ready here. You should run the script prepare datasets.py, fix any issue that arises, run PyTest suite and ensure all tests passed. So we will try to run all these now. If everything runs perfectly, we then. But me, I like to run my PyTest before even running. What do we call it? Before even running this guy, before running the main script. So let me do my PyTest. Let's see what my PyTest will tell me. And now this guy is ready to fix a lot of things. That's ready to fix now. Ready to fix, guys. Tests is not tests. Instead of tests, you what? Tests. I think I made it. It should be tests. Yeah. Okay, I can easily change it to test, by the way. It should be tests. So additional S should be there. Additional S should be there. So just try to reading of error. Reading of error is something very needed for every one of us. So you can see tests. Let's see what our output is going to look like. Okay, now debugging starts. So I'll come in to this guy here. Bring this guy much more. I'm not debugging here. I have a new chat to debug. So now let us try to debug this. Okay. I'm having this issue. So the issue is modular programming. I know modular programming is trying to reference a lot of things, and yeah, not too much of an issue, by the way. Okay, we don't fork. My bad language. We don't have init.py. If this is how it looks like. If the app is missing or named something seriously, and then the imports will never work. Ensure you have init.py. You should have init.py. Even an empty file is not BS. You should have init.py. Every oh my god, I think my god, that's something bad I did. Okay, I have init.py in all my pipes, in all my another way to I have init.py. I'm not having init.py check. Yeah. I think that's one of the things I have to do right now. I have to add init.py to everything. Now let me quiche. So let me do something. Let me close these guys as much as possible and I keep opening them one by one. So now I will add a new file here, Control V, init.py for API now. We've not written anything, so init.py for API. For core, we are going to have our init.py for core. That's what we're going to make it know that okay, this is like on its own. So for core, for data to you have our initialize the SPY models. We don't have anything right here, but I'll do services. We don't have anything presently right here. What do we need to SPY to? I don't think we need to SPY here by the way. Here we would have init.py too. So init.py is basically used to what initialize the project. Let's see the explanation much more here. It says, so this is how it should look. From a previous page, I'm assuming your parents do something like this. If app is missing or named, then the import will never work. Ensure app is a package. Yeah, to ensure that it's a package, you should have all these init.py. So test, I think we should have init.py to our test. Okay. Now let's see. Let's see. Will this run now? Let's see. Will this run now? Okay, you can see now. You can see now. It's saying UV test session. What do we have? It's platform win configuration collected item 6. Okay, it's failed. We have 6 different things that failed here. Let me then and try. Let's try to run test split FFF. What's the name of that FFF that's coming? 10 plus split. Where is that FFF? Fail. Okay, fail. Okay. Okay, now I have fail, like 6 failures. So 100% fail. Everything failed 100%. So let's try to see dev directly. The folder does not exist. This does not exist. Okay, this does not exist. I understand what he's trying to say. My folder does not exist, and that's why because I've not initialized the process earlier. I've not initialized the process later. If I initialize the process, it should give me all those projects. Now let's come to a very much sweeter one. Let's run this first. Let's just run this first. Let's just run this guy. But this will take a lot of our time. It will take a lot. So okay, very run. Let's see enter. App.co.config. Let me see how this is happening. I'm using this troubleshoot anyways. I'm using this troubleshoot. Instead of this, we should run what? Should run this. So now let's see. This confirms the problem is not PyTest. Python itself cannot find your app package. So Python sets the working module path to the script folder, not your project root backend. That's why it can't find app. Solution. Instead of recommended, run the script as a module instead of this, run it as a module. Run this as a module. So let's run this as a module. To work correctly, you can go and set environment variable and then do this. Now let's which one should let me complete this environment variable. You have to set it initially, here. Now you can now run this perfectly. PyTorch, no module name PyTorch vision. Instead of now saying this, I'm coming. Instead of saying this, instead of doing this point here, why don't I just go with this guy? Let me see if this guy will work. Same issue. Okay, I can now switch between both easily. But now I have to instead of my EMV, I should just put Python part. I have to set it. So here, I like clearing my so by the way, let's see what's the issue that's happening. No module named touch vision. That means I have to say UB add touch vision. I run this now. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's see what the issue is. If the issues can be solved using what we just typed. So it is okay. This is open already. I'm looking at number. So this is still working. This is still working. Okay, let's see what this guy is saying. Okay, look for both touch and touch vision. Add touch and touch vision. But I wrote only touch. I hope it adds both together. This is lots. Just wait for it to complete. While doing that, what can we do? What can we do while doing that? Okay, this is taking a lot of time. Taking a lot of time. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Um, ah, okay, let's see. This runs perfectly, this will take a lot of time, but I hope you can put the video and join again. Okay. Okay, I think it's getting fast now. Okay, let's see. Okay, now it told us everything is added. So now let's try to run this again. Okay, I believe now that this is now working in the background. This is now working in the background. Oh, I should have added a little bit of things that can show us the progress on the terminal and we can see how it's working. I think this is now working. So we'll just wait for it to see where it lands, where it stops. You can see now it is working. Step one, initializing put the directories, those successfully, checking raw data set found, splitting data set, data set found in this place, found 16 classes. That's it, it's working already. It's working already. So yeah, let us wait for it to continue. Okay, this is they are working on it. You can see. So you can feel free to fast forward here. You can feel free to fast forward um and just use what you wish, and yeah, you can feel free to fast forward, by the way. Feel free to fast forward so that you don't get lost, you just don't get stored there. Okay. Yeah, I think our project is moving forward, forward, forward now. Makes a lot of sense. Let me check something here. Mm, data. Okay, we have this is the row that we have before. Now we're having the processed. We don't have the process right now. It is splitting them. You can see it is splitting already. It is doing split already on them. After the splitting, we get to the test and some other things. Okay. Once this has run successfully, I think you can feel free to fast forward while watching, by the way. That will be the end of our session today. I think we are done with the data preparation. And from there, we move to the data to the model training and some other stuff. Okay. Okay, this is taking a lot of time. A lot of time. And to be very honest, this worked without a lot of bugs, by the way. And that's the era that we're moving to. Generation of code without bug, with like the codes are very sweet. See how they're working perfectly without issues. I think I'll just unmute now. Like, take a call. So we see, let's see now. You can see now we finished our splitting. We finished our splitting, the total number of classes, total number of images, our metadata, output info, where we can get them, verifying splits, creating dataset summary, and then it is validating data loaders. So if you try to do data loaders now and then move on with some other stuff. So yeah, we are getting there, we're getting there. So we can see all well and good. Our script ran successfully. It ran successfully without any issues. Now our process, now we have our data, we have our splits, we have our data split, train and test. So we have this now, which is very, very much. So now we can now move on to our next step. So the next step would be working with, would be the next milestone. Which I think I should put the milestone already. So let me check first. Let me check here. Now I'll paste the, what do you call it for us? The output to this guy, and it tells us, okay, you can see it's telling us this is what we should be expecting. I'll paste the output to it, and then from the output, we can now say, okay, this is what we need and this is what is not needed. So now let me see the milestone. I want to see the milestone so that I can track them easily. So now this guy should also be, our test should also be working should be working properly. Our test should be working properly. Let's let's see, let's see what it does. Okay. Now milestones. Okay, milestone 2. Let's get from okay, let's move to milestone. Now you can see, let me copy this everything here. Milestone 1, milestone 2, milestone 3, milestone 4, milestone 5. So yep. Up to this guy. Where is this guy? Up to here, let's move up a little bit. Let's do this. So now let's do this. Where is this my notepad? So I think I don't even need this again. This has worked successfully. Then this again. My milestone here. So this milestone 2, this milestone 2, where's milestone 2? Yeah. So yeah, we're done. Data loader, data. Yeah, let's now let me share the output and let me share the output with this guy and then move on to committing. When we say commit, we are trying to just make sure our Git is updated. Our Git is updated. Okay, so now I'll put it on to this guy. I'll put it on to this guy. I hope I'm able. Am I recording myself? Okay. I'll put it on to this guy. She will job back. Okay. Shift enter. Let me enter. So I will say this is my result. Results running the data sets, running the data set. I hope we are done with milestone 2 successfully. That before moving on to milestone 3, let's us commit and clean up Commit to Git, commit. Let us clean up the repo. Clean up the repo. That's if necessary. That's if necessary. That's if necessary. My need to clean up the repo and commit to Git perfectly. Perfectly using a very good commit message. Yep. Let's run this. The condition in the pipeline work, this important part is the initialization. So it means we have method to initially complete. As you notice, two things worth expressing. So there are some things, maybe there's a class that does not need, that is incomplete. You get that. Okay, using the blocker, fix env. Every run still starts with this is unrelated to the asset. Open your env, export. Okay, our envs are finished. I don't want to put my env on the chart, so I'll be changing my env later. Now delete Python cache. Okay, before cleaning up, we should clean up. Let's delete Python cache and delete PyTest cache. Delete Python cache, delete PyTest cache. Do you want to delete Python cache and PyTest cache? Ah, wait. Delete Python cache, delete PyTest cache. This is PyTest. So to be removing all this pie cat. So let's remove pie test cache also should be removed. So you can see this one that I see here now, we will not see it again. We do pie. Okay. So you can see we're not seeing that guy again. We're not seeing that guy again. Okay, so the next thing we should do is git ignore. I think my git ignore is updated. I probably think it's updated. I don't really want to. So git status, make sure you know the data. So let's do git status, check for data. We have modified project management deleted. We have it modified app. We have script. We don't have data right here. Okay. Now you're saying, okay, you say run here, yeah. Run test before everyone else can commit. Run test. Now let's run our test. But do I really care about this? To be very honest, I could actually commit without running the test. That's to be sincere. Let's see. Let's see what this will give us as our output. So, okay, I think after that, let me see the deployment process. Git add, git commit. I'm not tagging. Tag milestone optional. I'm not tagging the milestone. I'm not tagging the milestone. So I think yeah, I'll just do this. Git add, git commit. And here's the commit message. I think the commit message is something I need. Implementation of data state. Once this is done, I'll do git add, git commit. Let's our git now initially. Let's our git initially. You can see we are still here. Our commit is like 1 hour ago. So now when we do a new commit, we'll see some more improvements and stuff. And note, don't commit your data set. You can commit it small, you can commit it, but for bigger ones, I'll advise not to commit it. Our test now, you can see now we have who have passed and two failed. Yeah, let's just take what's failed. But I'm still going to be pushing up by the way. That's so I'm so tired now. This failed test class would have failed. And which other one failed? Test total image preserved failed. Are you taking these two? What happened inside them? Where's my test? We have logs here. Okay. Test links. Test what? Test where's first one? Test total image preserved. Total image preserved. Get get validation, get stuff. I'll try to figure this out later. Index. You do not have not support potato. Left contains one more item, tomato. We'll check it later. By the way, let me just say add add everything. I think everything that so let's begin again. Now let's see everything that is added. Let's see everything that is added. You need to have no symptom, no different. So let's do git commit feature data implementation. So like, this one means like we should learn to write git commits too. Future, like a new feature is implemented. Data from the data inside the data folder. Implement data set preparation. So now just say git push origin main. And then if you're working in a team, you want to say like origin to your branch, but then I'm pushing my main branch. No issues. Right here. Okay, so let's push. Okay, time is gone already. So now we've pushed our latest push. And when I reload this now, it will tell you, like I see my app is now much. You can now see my app now has API backend. You can see push just now, push just now. We have a lot of stuff to do. Yes, stuff to do. So that's it. That's it. So yeah, that's it about that. So I think we all understand up to this aspect. Thank you everyone for waiting and for learning to the moment. Please, for those who are watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, follow. Yeah. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye bye. Thanks.